Alright, welcome to Felt's Quick and Dirty Guide to Dragoon. Today we're going to be doing a quick and dirty guide to Dragoon. Makes sense? Cool. Let's start with our self buffs. We have Blood of the Dragon. You want this up all the time. You have Disembowel. You want this up all the time. Chaos Thrust. Not a self buff, it's damage over time, but you also want it up. Wait for it. All the time. Dragon Sight, Lance Charge, Battle Litany, all personal buffs, as well as Dragon Sight and Battle Litany doubling down as raid buffs. You want them to be out and about as often as you can get them, and make sure you're always selecting someone else for Dragon Sight. If you're like me and kind of lazy, you can make a macro for it. My macro is not the best, but it is a Dragon Sight macro. It will randomly target someone from 6, 7, 8, or 2 in the party list, and if not, it'll target myself to give it to me. Now let's talk about jumps. You have high jump. Use it off cooldown. You have Spineshatter dive. Use it off cooldown. You have Dragonfire dive. Use it off cooldown. But jumps are weird. They are a weave in that you use it while your GCD is rolling. So after you use a skill like True Thrust, your GCD will be spinning. You use high jump during that time. You don't use it at the same time, everything goes wrong then. Don't do that. But because it is a very animation-locked OGCD, you only want to use it some of the time. Let's use this guy as an example here. I'm just going to a random fight here. It doesn't matter what the fight is. I'll show it off, because if you do the timing wrong and you try and double jump inside of a window here, you try and do 2 jumps at once, look, you get completely locked out of being able to use your skill. It doesn't work. You can't do it. Don't even try. Now let's do a quick and dirty talk about the opener. When you do the opener, you pre-pull, want to start with Blood of the Dragon. Then you use True Thrust, then you'll use Dragon Sight and Lance Charge, then you use Disembowel, then you use Battle Litany, then you hit Chaos Thrust under all 3 of your personal buffs. Then you use Wheeling Thrust, then you high jump, Fang and Claw, then Geirskogul, True Thrust, which should be Raiden Thrust. If you hit your stuff properly, then I've heard mixed reports that you can use Dragonfire or Spineshatter there. I personally like Dragonfire because I know it'll fall underneath all buff windows. Then after Vorpal, you will double weave your Mirage dive, plus your Life Surge to hit full thrust under all of your buffs to do big damage. And then afterwards, you use Spineshatter dive to finish it out. Let's demonstrate the opener now. You start, pre-pull, hit your ability, pop your 2 buffs, hit your ability, pop your buff, hit your thing. You're waiting during this GCD, then you hit it, then you jump. Hit your next GCD, hit Geirskogul. I like to use this one here. Then you double weave. You hit the big full thrust, then you use your Spineshatter, and you're just into your normal rotation now. Do stuff as necessary. Alright, now that I've talked about the opener, let's talk about the next thing for Dragoon for this quick and dirty guide. When you have Blood of the Dragon active, you have 2 eyes that you can fill up. You fill those eyes up by using Mirage Dive and hitting the target. After you've done that twice, you'll be entering Life of the Dragon. When you enter Life of the Dragon, Geirskogul goes from a 30-second OGCD to a 10-second in Distrond, which is actually a little bit stronger. It's 100 potency more. And when you're level 80, you will have Stardiver. Here's the thing about Life of the Dragon. Only enter it if you have a buff coming up inside a buff window. And what does that mean? That means I hit this. Alright, I now have this. Okay, this would have been my opener, yada yada yada. Cooler in the next part of the fight now. All these buffs will be gone. And so, when all these run out, nothing will be up. I won't have Dragon Sight to hit, I won't have Lance Charge to hit, I won't have Battle Litany to hit. So the next time I use High Jump, I don't want to immediately use Mirage Dive. Unfortunately, this takes a minute. But right here, I don't want to use Mirage Dive. There's absolutely no reason to be using Mirage Dive right now, because it will force me to go into Life of the Dragon. Instead, you want to use Geirskogul first, because now I am ready to go into Life of the Dragon in 30 seconds from now. And 30 seconds from now, I will have Lance Charge up. Because I have Lance Charge up, that means I can use Lance Charge to land my Stardiver. What I am talking about right now is a technique known as delaying your Life of the Dragon window. And you often want to do that. Quite often, in fact, you want to delay your Life of the Dragon window. Because when you delay your window, you will personally be stronger inside of it. Because you will either have Dragon Sight up, or Lance Charge, or both Lance Charge and Battle Litany, or in the case of your 3-minute reopener window, I believe you can have all 3 of the buffs up. to make it so that your Stardiver, which is one of your highest potency abilities, will hit as hard as possible. And because you can delay your life window however you want, that's a great way of making sure Stardiver is going to hit as hard as possible every time it comes up to get the most use out of this ability that only comes up every 30 seconds at most, but technically it's only every 60 seconds because you need 2 Mirage dives to proc. There is times when, because of the fact that you're delaying this Life of the Dragon window, you will actually get to do back-to-back Life of the Dragons. The first one that happens is you'll get to use Lance Charge as you're leaving the Life of the Dragon window. Your Lance Charge will be falling off, but you'll be able to immediately re-enter the window again, and Dragon Sight will be coming up. And you'll sit on Stardiver until you have Dragon Sight up, and then you'll use Stardiver under Dragon Sight to make sure it gets the most out of it. This has been a new type of video for me. This has been an incredibly quick and dirty guide to Dragoon. Hope you learned something out of it, and if not, well, leave a comment below and I can discuss it better with you. I wanted to do a fast, hard-hitting, to-the-point version of Dragoon, because I've seen a lot of bad Dragoons out there. They make me sad. Hopefully, you learned something from this. If you want to discuss more stuff about it, you can leave comments. If you want to learn more in depth, the Balance Discord is a very valuable resource for people who are trying to get more into endgame jobs, endgame fights. They have lots of great guides that are very in-depth as to explaining why we do these things. I recommend them if you want a more in-depth guide. For now, thanks for watching and hanging out. Subscribe if you liked it, like if you want to see more. I hope to catch you in the next one.